Just leave it right there. We can just stop right there for the rest of the day. Good morning.
Have a quarterback.
What's that?
So the Cowboys have a quarterback.
Woo! You guys have two, don't you? No?
Who's Tony Romo?
I don't know. Speaking of football, did you guys see that one dude got cut from the team for having a girl in his room? Did you see that? Dion for the Los Angeles Rams. The coach told him right at the beginning of camp, no visitors in your dorm, period. He said training camp is 6 weeks long, and I don't want you guys to come back here a year from now and have a 3-month-old baby, watching you from the bleachers. So he said absolutely no guests in your dorm. So that very first night, Dion, he was a wide receiver, he from Maryland, I guess. Had a girl in his dorm, 30 minutes, they checked in 30 minutes before curfew, and he had some girl in his dorm, so the coach brought him down there and was like, man, I only have a couple rules. Be on time, no girls in your dorm. You're fired. Just cut him right there. Golly, could you imagine? Working so hard for your dream, you get picked up by an NFL team, you get cut the first day of camp over a wonderful, beautiful young lady. Hope it was working. All right. So, a couple things numbers-wise. We're pacing 820 cars right now, which is awesome. Great job. We're also pacing 196 new cars. Great job. And we're pacing 14 million cars in inventory, which is crazy. Good job, Jason Barnett. We have a lot of cars out there, don't we? Crazy amount of cars. We are 17 business days into a 27 business day month. You guys have each had 3 days off, from what I understand, so you should have 14 cars out right now. If you're at a car a day, you should have 14 cars out right now. If you don't have 14, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball. If you've got more than 14, you know where you're at. Luis is leading the board right now with 29 and a half. John Hinkson is on his tail, though. Hinkson has come back. Hinkson's at 27. Those are our leaders right now. So, nice job on the numbers. As far as our customer satisfaction, you can see we've got quite a few happy customers. Go to Dan Cummins for a Dan Cummins deal. Love the atmosphere there. Yeah. Love the atmosphere there. Had excellent service from the team. Thanks to Austin Sipple. Keep it simple and go to Sipple, right? Isn't that how it is? I got the truck of my dreams. I would recommend anyone to go here for all of your car and truck needs. Nice job, Austin Sipple. Great experience. Called and talked with several people at Dan Cummins. There are no threats found. Over the last 2 months, while trying to decide on a truck to buy, everyone I've talked to was very nice and helpful. Seen a truck I liked pop up on their website, so I called and was transferred to John Hinkson in sales, but the truck sold to someone else before we could make a deal. Later that same afternoon, I texted John about another truck I liked even more, and he was very quick in responding. Most of the deal was done over the phone, through text and email, and I signed the papers and test drove the truck the next day. The truck had been detailed very well and had a full tank of gas. Thanks, Mr. Hinkson, for a fast and easy buying experience. Love my 2015 Chevy Silverado 2500. Nice job, John Hinkson. You down there with somebody right now?
Yes.
I'm guessing he is. Dwayne posted twice in Dealer Raider. We love Dan Cummins. This is the second vehicle we bought from this dealership. Luis made sure that we were buying a car that we loved. Tim made sure we had the deal that we wanted. Their customer service is the reason we keep coming back. Nice job, Luis. This next one here is Mr. David Wright, and it's long, so I'm not going to read it. And as you can see, he gave us a 1-star. This was a review of Luis's, but not necessarily Luis's fault. I have spoken with Mr. David Wright in length, and he will be in here Tuesday to pick up his new vehicle. So we've taken care of Mr. Wright. We just had a little bit of an issue with some credit type stuff and which kind of car you could buy and couldn't buy and so on and so forth. But we're going to make them happy because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. We always do the right thing. Experience with Dan Cummins. Mike Church was very patient and helped us find the SUV we wanted. He was extremely personable and made the process very easy for us. Because of Mr. Church being so helpful, honest, and personable, we were more inclined to purchase a vehicle from Dan Cummins. We would recommend Dan Cummins and especially Mike Church to anyone. Nice job. Where's he at? He's selling, oh, you're selling your uncle a truck today, though, right? All right, there's another Mike Church, there's another Austin Sipple, there's another John Hinkson. Excellent. I can't say enough good things about this dealership. I bought a car that's had problems from day one back in January. Since then, I've been trying to get General Motors and my auto finance company to work with me and get swapped a new car that's safe for me and my fiance with a little one on the way. Dan Cummins' team, especially Glenn, Chris, and Jeremy, went absolutely above and beyond my expectations to help me get into a brand new car, which I love and I know will be dependable. Endless thanks to the team at Dan Cummins for genuinely caring about me, my fiance, and my little girl that I'm expecting just 2 months from now. You guys are the best. Nice job, Glenn Lundy. Sweet family. They had bought a brand new Chevy Spark. We had some issues with it. We had to put 3 transmissions in it in the first 7,000 miles. Sometimes those things, just happens. So what did we do? We did the right thing. We took care of the customer, and this is our reward for that. We get an awesome review, and we got to make a difference in a new little family's life. They got a 2-month baby on the way, and they feel safe and comfortable in their vehicle. It matters. It's important, right, Chris? Awesome. Great job. All right, so the reviews are still coming in. We continue to get 5 stars. You guys are doing a great job. I asked for some Google reviews. You guys have gotten me some more Google reviews, so I really appreciate it. Now I want to touch base on this right here. All right, this is the report, and this is actually from Thursday or Friday morning. You guys actually have 122 new cars out right now. But this is the report that we get from General Motors that shows new cars with us and everybody kind of in our district, region, zone. Paul, where are we at? Was this zone? Is that what this is called?
Yeah, this is zone.
How's it work? District, region,
zone, region.
District, zone, region? Okay, so this is our zone, okay? Now, as you can see, it's ranked by, percentage of objections. So, for example, Larry Fanning's Chevrolet Buick GMC, their objective for the month is to sell 9. Okay, that's their goal, is to sell 9, and they're at 8. So they're doing great, right? They're at 88% of their objective. So as we slide down, we've kind of got some 32s, some 9s, 37s, 19s. Then you see Jeff Holland, their objective is 93, so they're getting up there. Then you've got Dan Cummins' objective 159. We've actually got 122 now. You guys have sold a bunch of new cars in the last couple days. So you need to be at about 60% today to be even close to having a chance of hitting your objective. We're over the 60% mark, so we're doing good. All right, Dan Cummins, their goals 10, 17, 17, 8, 29, so on and so forth. But what I wanted to show you is just a couple years ago, we weren't really players in the new car game. Okay, we were a used car store. That's pretty much what we sold. We sold 40 or 50, new cars. We were one of, these guys where our objectives were maybe a little bit higher, 42, 50, 60, 70s, that kind of thing. That objective obviously has gone up, but we were not a player in the new car game. We were a used car dealership. Now we are a player in the new car game, but when we weren't, there were 2 dealerships that would totally kick our ass month in and month out. One of them was a place called Midstate in West Virginia. The other one was a place called Mount Hatfield, which is right down the street. You guys all know it, right? They're 12 miles from here. Okay, so Midstate, you see them right there. Their objective is 147. They're at 74. We're at 98, plus the ones we've sold the last few days. So we're kicking Mid-State's butt, right? That's very, very clear. We're kicking Mid-State's butt. As we continue to scroll down further, we find our buddies. Okay? We find Ron Hatfield down here at the bottom of the page at 40% of their objective. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important for a couple reasons. One, we always need to celebrate our successes, right? We're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. We're selling more new cars. We've got more new cars here because of that. That's kind of how it works. When you sell new cars, you get more cars, you get more opportunities. When you sell less cars, you get less cars, you get less opportunities, right? Almost to the point where it's a little overwhelming right now. We have so many new cars. We had to have a meeting in here the other day just on a new process on how we're going to PDI all the new cars. We had to create a new process on all the LPOs, which is running boards and black bow ties and all this stuff that we put on these new cars. We had to create a new process on where we're going to store this stuff in parts until the vehicles get here. We also had to create a new section on the lot, right? We used to have a bunch of Sparks up front. What's up there now? A whole bunch of Corvettes, including the black one that's bad to the bone that Jeremy Linden just bought. Okay, yeah, Jeremy got a vet, and he's loving it. He was driving that thing like 3 miles an hour last night. You should have seen him. He looks good in it, though. Okay? Yeah, it's a grand sport. It's fast, man. So, we've created some new problems. We're having to create new solutions. But ultimately, we created it because now we are in the new car game. So, with that, it's important we celebrate our victories, right? We're doing a great job. Another thing that's important is now we can learn from this guy that used to be on the top. Tell him something, Jim. These guys that used to be on the top that are now on the bottom of the page. Okay? A, they didn't see us coming. B, they didn't have enough imagination to stay ahead of the game. They had a lot of knowledge on how to sell new cars. Okay? And they say knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. But knowledge is limited. There's limits to knowledge. I can only know so much. I can learn, and I can learn from other people, and I can take what other people have done, and I can learn from that, but it's limited. There's a ceiling on knowledge. There's no ceiling on imagination, right? You can imagine all kinds of crazy things, right? Dreams, visions. I mean, I've had dreams where I'm soaring above the clouds, right? I'm flying, I'm Superman, I'm saving lives, I'm knocking people out, Britney Spears walks in, you know. We won't go any further with that dream, but with your imagination, there's no limits. They forgot to use their imagination. They had a lot of knowledge. When Josh and Dusty bought this store, I don't know, I wasn't there at the time. I do know that they had a dream, they had a vision for what this place looked like. And I know that we've probably far exceeded what they ever thought we could do in the beginning. I know we've far exceeded that. As we continue to grow, we're starting to use our imagination a little bit more, and we're creating a place that just absolutely is unbelievable. Let me give you an example. If I were to imagine the ultimate, biggest, most successful dealership, if I was to use my imagination and just picture what that looked like, what would I have there? I'd have a crap ton of cars, right? Like, I'd have a lot of cars. I'd have thousands of cars so that any customer that is looking on my website, or any customer that happens to come across my name, I have a vehicle for them. I would imagine that I would have a monster facility, right? big facility with big training rooms and big showrooms and flashy cars and digital media boards all over the place and just a great atmosphere and filled with great people. I would imagine that we'd have more employees than we could handle. That's how I would imagine it if I had a huge dealership. I would imagine a place where you don't even have room to park. You got to have a lot attendant to show people where to put their cars so that they can just come in and buy something. That's how I would imagine it. I would imagine a place where my sales guys can wake up every morning and go, I'm going to have an opportunity to sell a couple cars today. I'm gonna for sure, guaranteed, without a doubt, I'm gonna be able to talk to some customers today that can buy. If I was using my imagination on what kind of dealership I want, I would imagine a dealership that had banks in their pockets, where we could just get everything bought, right? We can get it bought, we can get it done. If we don't like the terms and conditions that it's bought and that it's under, we can call the bank and we can change it. That's how I'd imagine it. Wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be awesome, right? So if I'm imagining this perfect dealership that has the power to take everybody else to the bottom of the page, that's what I'd make it look like. Then what I would do is once I had that dealership and once I had these other guys on the ropes, I would step on their freaking throats. I'd step on their throats because here's one thing that I know. I know for a fact that if I have that dealership that has every car and has every employee and I've got banks in my pocket and I've got the facility, if I've got that dealership, I can shut down other dealerships. And if I can shut down the other dealerships, guess what? You got to come here to buy a car. You have to. Those 57 people right there that bought a car from Rod Hatfield, if those doors were closed, where would they buy a car? I can't shut down every dealership in the city of Lexington. We could try. We can try. But I can't shut down every city in dealership in the city. I can't shut down every dealership in the state. I can't shut down every dealership in the country. But I'm a firm believer that we can shut down every dealership within a 12-mile radius. Firm believer. We're watching it happen. How long has that place been open down the street? They're going to close their doors soon, I promise. They don't have a choice. We have squeezed them out. They're selling a few Dodges here and there. That's about it. They're not going to be able to last long.
We're not in the Dodge game, are we?
Not yet. We're going to get there, though. That's why I'm driving mine, trying to represent. But if we can shut their doors, down my customer, because really they're just kind of catching people on their way here. It's really what's happening. You know, they're coming in from Lexington, they're like, hey, let's go buy a Chevy, and right before they turn on Paris Pike, they see Hatfield, and they're like, oh, I heard that place on the radio once, they had that CeeLo song, right? Driving around town with a girl I love. Isn't that CeeLo? I think it is. So they've got that song on the radio. Let's stop in there real quick and let's see what they got. And that's what they're catching. And some of them are buying a car there. Some of them, most of them are getting treated poorly, and then they end up driving the rest of the way, and they tell you, man, I just came from Hatfield, and that place is a freaking joke. That place is a joke, and I'm so glad I'm here now, and you guys are awesome, and you guys are the best. So I want to close their doors, man. I want to completely shut them down, because then that gives us another 57 new cars right now. That puts us on pace for 950 instead of 820. That jumps us up, right? That gives all you guys an extra car or two, extra new car or two to get you closer to your goals. That gives you guys another customer or two that gives you a good review, that talks good about you, that you get to change their life, that you get to help the fiance and the little and the lady with the 2-month-old baby. It's just another opportunity to do that. And so that's what I imagine. I imagine that we build this place that has everything that we need to conquer in this industry, and then I imagine that we just step on the throats of our competition and we close their doors so that 5 years from now, we're not looking at this sheet and everybody else is at the top and we're down here on the bottom. Because that's what happens. That's really what happens to a lot of people, man. They start off great, new penny always shines, right? They take advantage of the opportunities, they go out there, they kill it, they sell some cars, they start making some moves, they make some waves, and then they get really comfortable, they put it on cruise control, and they think, we're good. We're good, man. We're right here. We're located perfectly. Everybody's got to drive past us. They're all going to buy cars from us. We're going to bombard the radio waves with commercials. And when we're just going to sell cars forever and ever and ever and ever. And no one's ever going to sneak up on us. No one's ever going to start stealing our customers. It's just never going to happen. Those guys down the road, they're old school, man. They're just an old mom and pop shop. I ain't worried about them. That's what happened to those guys. I don't want to be those guys. Do you guys want to be those guys? So I know we ask for a whole lot from you guys, but I want you to understand and imagine what this place can be. What we've done in 5 years is incredible. Hands down. What we can do in the next 5, it's exponential. Now we are powerful. We have banks. We have, they're probably watching on this live feed right now. We've got Jay and Susan Wilhoit from GM Financial. Okay, GM Financial is our captive lender. Okay, they're the ones who give us our rebates. They're the ones who do our leases. They're our captive. They're in bed with General Motors. Okay, now this bank has resources. They have dealerships all over the country. They have plenty of money. They have loans coming in by the mountains full. I mean, they've got everything that they need, and yet Susan's been in here 3 times this week. 3 times this week. Jay's on the phone with us every day this week. We had a phone conference with Susan's boss and her boss's boss and her boss's boss's boss the other day because they want to know what they can do to get more deals and develop more of a partnership with Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. They're not down the road anymore. They're right here. They're investing all their time, energy, and resources in developing a relationship with us so that we can pick up the phone and we can say, hey, here's what we need. And they'll do it. A long time ago, I picked up a phone. My first time on the desk, I picked up the phone. I was trying to get a deal approved. Wells Fargo had said no or countered or whatever. I picked up the phone, and there was a sales manager sitting next to me. His name was Greg Donahoe. And I picked up the phone to call the bank, and Greg said, what are you doing? I said, I'm calling the bank, man, to see if I can get this approved. He said, don't do that. Josh doesn't like when you do that. That's what he told me. I said, what are you talking about? Just leave that to the finance guys. You just desk your deals. No. I'm going to call this guy. So I call Wells Fargo, and I get a guy on the other end of the line. His name is Dusty Miller. And I get Dusty on the phone, and I say, hey, Dusty, I know that this is what you said you can do, but here's what I need you to do. Can you help me? And he helps me. So then the next time it comes up, I pick up the phone and I call and I ask for Dusty Miller because I know he's going to help. And I say, Dusty, here's what you told me you could do, but here's what I need you to do. Can you help me? And he helps me. And we start doing more deals. And then somebody doesn't pay on a deal. And Dusty Miller calls me and he says, hey, Glenn, I gave you an exception on this deal and this customer hasn't paid their payment and it's going to be a repo. Will you help me? And so I say, yeah. And I call the customer. I say, Mr. Customer, what's going on with your financial situation? How come you haven't paid your payment? And he says, oh, I'm going through this and I'm dealing with this. I said, get in here. Come in here. We're going to trade you out of that vehicle. We're going to put you in something else. We're going to get you in a lower payment. You're not going to have a payment for 45 days. You can get back on your feet. Just get in here. Don't let that thing repo. So he comes in here and I trade him out and I put him in a lower payment. He pays his loan. And Wells Fargo says, thanks, you guys helped me. So then I call them again and I say, hey, I got a customer here and here's what I need. Can you help me? And what do they want to do? They want to help. So now we do 200 plus deals a month with this bank. And every Monday morning, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Jeremy will have a stack of deals on his desk every Monday morning. Those are your deals that you're going to sell today, okay? You're going to sell a bunch of cars today. And Wells Fargo is going to give us a bunch of approvals, and so is GM Financial, and they're maybe going to work, or they're maybe not quite going to work, and so we are going to adjust those approvals from the bank. We're going to adjust them so that they fit, so that you guys can sell cars today. That's what Jeremy's going to do on Monday. He's going to spend an hour on the phone and make sure that everything you sold today gets funded so that you can get paid. That's what he's going to do. That's power. That's power, man. So now here we are, we were number 6 in the country. We're actually going to be better than that this year, since we're tracking 9,400 cars right now, but we're going to sell 10,000. So we're more powerful now than we've ever been. We have these banks that we've developed these relationships with that are willing to go above and beyond to do whatever they can for us. We have all the inventory that's humanly possible. We have all the inventory we need. We have a car for everybody out there. We're putting new processes in place in detail. I've got new people in detail that are doing a better job. We've got new people helping with our Premier Defense that are doing a better job, creating new processes for the accessories and the OPOs, new processes for our service department. We're basically just continuing to move this freaking mountain. And the next 5 years, when I imagine this perfect dealership, this unlimited perfect dealership, when I imagine it 5 years from now, I imagine that in this room right here, the 50 of you that are sitting here are not in these chairs. I don't see you guys in these chairs, because in my perfect dealership, well, we have more than one at this point, but in our perfect group of dealerships, I've got all the guys that were with me today, and girls that are with me today, that busted ass to get us to this point. Those are all the people that are managing the other stores. Those are the ones that are sitting at the other stores, sitting across from a bunch of guys, or in this training room, sitting across from a bunch of guys. What's up, Robin? Oh, hell.
Nice.
Yeah. Golly, beautiful.
Every imagination has that.
See? I imagine me holding these things, but I just can't. Golly, it's beautiful. She's beautiful. Wow. I believe I can fly. It's a hummingbird. Oh, golly. All right, Robbie. Dang it, Robbie. So, but I imagine that as we grow, we conquer this industry, we change the way people think about buying a car. I imagine that those of you that are in this room are sitting across from these new salespeople, and you're telling them your story. You're talking to them about how, oh man, you guys, you know, we're selling 3,000 cars a month now between all our stores. I remember when we used to get excited at 800. I want you guys telling those stories. I used to be on the floor just like you guys. I used to be out there selling the cars and pulling the jump boxes and walking around in the Rite Aid lot. You guys won't even believe it, but they used to be all dirt over there. Where all those cars are, it used to just be mud. Like, I want you guys to be able to tell that story. I do. I just imagine this place that all of you can develop and grow and achieve whatever it is you imagine. We are in a place right now of power, whereas if we can take it to the next level, if we can step on the gas and use our imagination and just dream and not allow ourselves to be limited and not put cruise control on, if you can take that next step and make sure, you know what, today I'm going to sell one more car. Today I'm going to sell 2 more cars than I ever had. This month I'm going to sell 5 more cars than I ever had. I'm gonna talk to 10 more people than I ever had. I'm gonna get creative. I'm gonna grab Brandon in the back and run a little personal video. And I'm gonna send that out to all my customers. Or I'm gonna pay for a little digital sign over here. And I'm gonna make sure on Facebook every single day that everybody knows that I'm here to take care of them. I'm here to help them. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to make sure to eat right. I'm going to make sure to keep my body in good shape. I'm going to make sure I have a positive energy. I'm going to weed out all the news and all the negative crap. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to read a book a month. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to watch Cardones even though Sam told me I didn't have to. If you guys can get there, you guys can start pushing like that. You can pick up the phone when your sales manager tells you not to. Pick up the phone and call the bank and create something new for you. I'm telling you, man, you think the last 5 years have been fun. It's crazy where we're at right now. Crazy. General Motors loves us. How many people we have at that training? How many people we have at that training? They should have just had the training here. That's right. How many people did the other dealerships have? A couple? Oh, we don't need to train. Why do we need to train, man? Why do we need to train? It's just a Silverado. It's no big deal. We don't need to train. Talk about train. We are the #1 new car dealer in our zone. #1. And we sent our entire staff over to train. Those guys have 9 cars as their goal. And they couldn't show up. We're head and shoulders above every dealership out there. And I promise you, we will stay there. It won't be easy. We got to keep practicing. We got to keep going after it. We got to keep getting to that next level. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep growing. We got to keep creating new problems. And ultimately, we just got to keep doing everything right. Do the right thing. There's a couple banks that have shut down some of these guys that are dropping down on the page. Wells Fargo has cut off some of these guys that have dropped down on the page because they don't do the right thing. They lie about down payments. They lie about customers' income. They try to cheat. They try to cheat, and it worked for a little while. It does every time. It'll work for a little while. You can cheat the banks. You can lie. You can do all that good stuff. But then there's a repo. Then there's another repo. Then they start looking. Then they start verifying. And what happens? Then you got to tell your employees that you just sold the dealership to somebody else and wish them the best of luck. That's what ends up happening. But not here. All right? You guys gonna give me everything you got today? Promise? If you tell me you'll give me everything you got today, I'll let you out of this room. Will you give me everything you got today?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go have a big day. Where'd that Frank Mantis go? Allow yourself to be great. That's my boy George. I wish you were here with us, man. I'm glad you're always on here because one day you're going to be in this room with me. I know it. And you're going to kill it just like your brother does. So keep busting butt over there. I know you're over at Value City right now. Just keep killing it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a wonderful Saturday.